This is no ordinary camper van. This is my dream home on wheels to travel, work and explore this incredible country of Australia. I'm going to share with you the 7 most unique features that make this camper van like no other on the road. From underbed storage, hidden queen bed, custom drawer storage, hidden clothes chute from inside and out the van, endless concepts to make van life living on the road 100 times easier. After living on the road in different conditions and different environments around the world, I think I finally built the perfect camper van to travel, work and explore Australia.
G'day legends, yes, you heard that right. It took me 2.5 years to build my dream home on wheels, but now I've got the freedom to travel and work anywhere in Australia. If you watch my full van build, you know I went to Victoria for 6 weeks on a hiking trip and it rained. So I come home and ripped the entire back section of my van out. So today I want to show you the 7 most unique things, and number 1 and number 2 are from that section where I had to rip it out, rebuild it, and now I believe it is almost bloody perfect. Let's stop talking about it and jump into it. Number 1 on that list is underbed storage. If you watched my full van reveal, you know that I had to gut and revamp this whole back section. And this underbed storage is one of the wins I can take away from this section. When I first packed my van, I put all my long pants and shorts in here, my jumpers in there, allocated 2 drawers for my socks and jocks. T-shirts were just scattered everywhere. It was an absolute pain in the ass. So I revamped it, put underbed storage, game changer. It's only 75 mils deep, but when I roll my t-shirts up, it allows me to put all my work t-shirts, sporting, rain t-shirts, jocks, socks under here. And also I've dedicated a section, so in the back or the trunk, whatever you call it, I can chuck it in there, all my dirty laundry, and access it later on. So I'm not having dirty laundry scattered around the van. 2 wins, 1 objective, absolutely love that. Now, it is perfect, but it isn't quite perfect. Why it's perfect is I can just leave the table on, swivel it across, access it all the way up. It isn't perfect because I have to take off 2 pillows. I only access this about twice a day, so it doesn't really bother me to take 2 pillows off to have this much amount of storage. But it isn't quite finished yet because the upholsterer, let's just say, pissed me off. When it's fully finished, I'll have 2 sections, one at the head, one at the foot, which will be Velcroed to the actual main part of the plywood. They have to be separately upholstered, and then I have to get custom sheets made. So 1 main sheet for here and 2 sheets for the end section we'll be able to take off and wash, and another set will go back on. And you'll also see I've had to cut out sections just here because that rolls me into step number 2. Number 2 actually coincides with the same time I gutted the rear section of this van and done the underbed storage. I know you're thinking it's probably the table and chair setup, how basic. No, it's actually not. This is one of the biggest mistakes I made in the planning and processing of my van build, but that is for a different video. For now, it is the queen size bed. Where the hell is it? Great question. When I went to Victoria, this was the main reason why I had to come back and gut this back section. It was a permanent queen bed. It was luxury, but it just did not bloody work. Now, when I sell the van, if I ever do, I want it to be for 2 people. 2 seats at the front, 2 seats here, and a queen size bed. Very comfortable and very spacious. So where does that queen bed come from? That's a great question. This partition here is locked down to give me a oversized king single. This can be undone either side by an N10 bolt and slid all the way across. When that partition is moved over, there is a bracing port on both sides of the van, and that gets locked down exactly the same way it is now. So that is now locked down. The slats go across. Where does the queen bed come from? Great question. These cushions right here, when or if I finally ever get them upholstered. So 1 cushion, 2 cushion, and the 3rd one I'm sitting on. When that, bit funny because that section there is number 7, will be a seat. I've got another 3 cushions, and unfortunately, I want to be very transparent with you. It's good, but it's not perfect because I have to carry a spare cushion around, which is 310 mils long by 100 mils. This is a 100 mil mattress. That makes up the whole section of the rest of the queen bed. So now we have a queen bed. The other negative about this setup is I have to carry around spare doona, spare sheet, and also a spare pillow. At the moment, because I'm traveling full time and living in this van, I just haven't got the space. If it was a weekender or if it was a 2-week trip or take out half my fishing crap, I'd have heaps of space to store all that. But at the moment, it doesn't work, so I don't actually carry it around. I haven't got the cushions that side, spare pillows, spare doona, and that sort of stuff. For me, it is just me alone. So once again, those applications, please put them down below. Now, I know we don't know each other very well, so I'm going to explain to you one meticulous thing about me. I'm very anal, but I'm also very, very tight by money. This here is a contradictory of who I am. It cost me absolute shit ton to get done, but I love it. I show this to everyone that walks in the van. Their reaction is, cool, I have one of those at home. Yeah, but it's not custom built. This is a 3D custom built for my exact, look, scissors. There's a dedicated area for my cutlery. This started off as a grand plan between me and my brother. We measured it up, we're going to design it. It became pretty hard, so I paid someone to design it. Gave it to my brother to print, it didn't print. So I paid someone to get it printed. This cost me so much money. I don't even want to say in public how much money this cost me, but whatever you're thinking, triple it. But look at it, it's so cool. That's why it's made number 3. It is one of my all-time favorite things in this entire van. And yeah, I know what you're saying, IKEA sells them, but it doesn't fit my van perfectly. Number 4 on this list is the number 1 product that I can recommend to any van lifer out there. No matter what van you have, no matter what budget you have, this product, I reckon you need it. Why? Well, privacy, a huge one from traveling around Australia. You only want your own little space in there. It completely blacks the van out. So when you're sleeping, unless you're a rooster and want to wake up when the sun wakes up, you can sleep in and you're just completely fine. It eliminates heat. Traveling around Australia, getting up north, it's stinking hot. This will definitely help you out. Now, the meticulous person that I am, that everything needs a home, this is the one thing that I can just accept that I don't need a home for it. Because when I'm driving, it's on my bed. When I'm parked up, it's on my windows. I can get over it because the product is so bloody good. This is living in a bubble. Why is it so good? On the inside, it has grey. So it reflects all the light and keeps things a little bit ambient and a little bit brighter, which is perfect. On the other side, it is black, reflects heat, eliminates people looking into your van. How good. Secondly, it is so easy to just install. Done. And when you want a little bit more light in, you've got a little bit more light in, because there's all magnetic places everywhere you want to look. Lift it back up. Done. How good is that? It's a product that everyone needs, no matter their budget or their van style, because it is just so easy. Shuts it through, you can't even see inside, get a good night's sleep, wake up actually ready to go. How good. Number 5 is definitely a bit more of a unique product. It's definitely tailored towards those long-term travelers, and it is mounting Starlink on the roof. I previously had a plug on the side of my van, had to run Starlink out every single time that I wanted to use it. Now just think, if you're pulling over for lunch, you just want to have a half an hour, watch something, run Starlink out, set it up, wait for it to load. It is always on. I turn it off at night just to save some power, but it's consistently on. Never had an issue with connectivity. If I do, I'll make sure to update you guys, but it just hangs there. It's magnetic and it's so strong. I put it behind the max air fan, so when trucks come the other way, it sort of deters the wind. I understand, Starlink's bloody expensive, but for me, traveling, working full time in this beautiful country of Australia, it is a huge thing for me. So can I recommend chuck it on your roof? Bloody oath I can. The second to last one, it is the cheapest, the most fulfilling, and the one that will make you the most happiest. Sentimental value to your van. I always reference this van as my home. I'm so lucky and proud that my home has 4 wheels and a different postcode every couple of days. Adding simple things like photos, it makes the van so sentimental. But I've got one really good tip when building your van, which I want to talk about on a separate video, that it is don't pre-plan for these, optimize as you're going along. What do I mean by that? This here is a perfect example. You get to a stage where you're about 70% complete in your van and it is just a van. Like you go to a shop and buy one, they're all the same. Cupboards, kitchen, all that sort of stuff. But when you start adding your own color, your own flair, that's when things start to really create your home. This here is my grandfather's. From Scotland, coming over on the boat, bought this in Egypt. It is a Western German 1961 sports camera, because when people walk in the van and say, oh, I love the cameras, I can tell a story about every single thing in my van. These images up here are from my first ever van life experience in Scotland overseas. 6 weeks in a piece of shit vehicle, but I had the absolute time of my life. Crap camera, crap conditions, crap vehicle. Probably the happiest little pig in shit I've ever been in my life. And then the decorations of the flowers and sort of bushes around They cost me a bit more, but they're all native to Australia. That makes my home Australian. I wanted to build this van as much of an Aussie conditions as I possibly could, and also sentimentalizing my home inside of that. I have the red from the Outback, my first ever van trip, cameras that are so close to my heart, native bushes, trees, plants of Australia. Sentimentalizing becomes very cheap, very affordable. There's one big tip that I want to give you on a separate video on how to get these finer details when you're first building your van. Lucky last, number 7, my addiction to playing Fortnite. No, I don't know if the kids play Fortnite anymore. But when you create and edit as much content as I do on the road, having this workstation is... Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Bloody oath. It is incredible. MacBook Pro hooked up to a BenQ 27-inch monitor. I feel as if I do more work in less time on the road. Doesn't really make sense, but for me, it bloody does. When I do 2 hours of work, I can go outside, walk around for 20 minutes, listen to the birds, come back in, I'm hyper focused. I'd spend an average of about 4 hours every day on this computer for 7 days a week. That's what happens when you travel full time and create content. So having the ability to hyper concentrate with beautiful scenery all around me, it really was a no-brainer for me. When I first done it, I thought it was a bit stupid, but now, 6 months later, I don't look back at it at all. Yes, it is a little bit big. I love an espresso monitor because it does chew up the power just a little bit more than what I wanted. I've talked about that on my electronics video. With espresso monitor, 17-inch, plug it in via USB-C. I can chuck all my editing onto that and still use my laptop screen to do everything else that I need. Do I need it? Definitely not. Do I love that it's in my van? Absolutely. When people get in there, they say, you're an idiot, and I say, you are 100% correct. So that is my 7 most unique things about my absolute dream home on wheels. But they're my 7 most unique things. I want to hear down in the comments below, what are your most unique features about your van or the van you're going to build? Even over on Instagram, make sure to tag me so I can see, because I love to snoop around and see people's campervan builds. And I can guarantee you, if I see you somewhere around Australia, I'm going to be approaching you, asking you, can I look through your van? Because the van, in my opinion, tells an exact story about those van lifers, and I bloody cherish it like no tomorrow. But guys, that is me done. Make sure to head over and watch the rest of this series about electronics, the budget, whatever it may be, because this is a dream home, traveling and creating content around Australia. And that's where I'll see you from next time, somewhere in this beautiful country. Ciao.